Hello, my name's John Pocknell, Toad for Oracle Product Manager, and welcome to this series on enabling agile database development using Toad for Oracle. In this final step, step 10, we're going to talk about how to execute workflow automations such as PL/SQL unit testing and code reviews on the Toad Intelligence Central server and how to integrate it with the continuous integration process. So why is this important? Well, once you've created your PL/SQL unit test execution and code review automations and published them, they can be treated independently from a Toad client. They were initially created on a Toad client, now they're separate. Once these automation apps are created and stored on a server, they can be executed and scheduled on a server or called from a Jenkins, Hudson or similar continuous integration server as part of an automated build process. Any reports that are generated as a result of a code review or a unit test execution are generated on the Toad Intelligence Central server, and the TIC web server enables anyone to view a code quality dashboard representing the overall quality of a development project over time, or they're able to drill down into particular details. So let's get into a demo and see how this works. All right, so we're back into the Toad UI at the point we left it in the previous video, where we had created an app and we published it to Toad Intelligence Central. The Intelligence Central flyout window is over on the left-hand side here, and at the top you'll see a hyperlink which launches the web console. We'll look at that in a second. Underneath that there are project folders, and inside the project folders there are artifacts, files that have been published from Toad for Oracle. So we had published the automations on the right into a folder on Toad Intelligence Central. And if I right click this and you can see on the left hand side the Intelligence Central flyout window with a list of items. At the top is a hyperlink, which is the web console. So that's going to open a web report showing you a number of different things inside of Toad Intelligence Central. If I just show you what that looks like. So when you click that hyperlink, this is what you'll get. You'll see Toad Intelligence Central. If I go to the home page, you'll see a list of all of the things that are on Toad Intelligence Central, when they were published, who they were published by, what they were. And so see right at the bottom is the app that I just published in the previous video sitting inside of this folder here. Okay, if I go to reports, what this is going to show is just like an administration console showing you activity that's happened over a particular time period, in this case the last 30 days. It's showing you what's trending, it's showing you what has been used, so the percentage of items that have been published, reports that have been run, and such what. And on the right hand side you can see a list of files that have been published. Okay, so if we go down to the Toad for Oracle piece, the first level is the overall code quality. And this is done at the database level initially, and then you can drill down to the databases. The databases that I'm using, if I click on this one, it shows you then the overall code quality on that database. Okay, and you can see here we're looking at various high-level metrics, Toad quality, SCI metrics. We're seeing here Toad code rating. We're showing overall code test results, where we have passes, where we have fails. We have a failure here actually. If we look at this schema at the bottom here, there are two schemas that are in use on this database, and this second one is showing that only 92.86 tests have passed. So let's drill into that. Okay, so this is a granular view now, looking at that one schema, and you can see here that we've got some failures. If we go to the left-hand side, again, below code quality, we can then drill into particular aspects of a project. So code analysis will look at the code review status, code tester will look at the unit testing status. So code analysis, first of all, let's select the XC database again, and the quest per schema, which is the one that we've been using for these demos. And you can see here an overall sort of roll-up report of the code quality. It's all looking green, but there's a couple of aspects here where you don't have green check marks, you've got some exclamation marks, and that could be indicative of some issues. So you can drill into there and we can look at some of the particular metrics in more detail. So here, for example, we're looking at trending of the Toadco rating indicator. That's actually fairly steady. Look at some of these other metrics like Holstead and maintainability. They're again fairly steady. If we see trends down or trends up, that's indicative of quality either improving or getting worse. Okay, so the coloured markers on the left here show go from green to yellow to red. Obviously, if you have any red issues, that's really bad. Similarly, code tester. So again, code tester, click on the database. Quest perf is the only schema for which I have unit tests in here, and I can go and look at, say, this one here. Look at see whether the tests have all passed or failed. This one here, actually, the tests have all failed, so that would be something I would need to check out. So you get a sense of how it works. It's showing you data in a central place, but the important aspect is this idea of having an overall top-level code quality dashboard that's giving you an indicator of what's going on. If I had my team coding repository on Toad Intelligence Central as well, this blank area over here would also show me the team coding events, check-in, check-out events that happen over time. Okay, so that's the web dashboard. Okay, so in terms of execution, I can select, in this case, this app there, which contains a code review and a bunch of PL SQL unit tests. I can right-click and select Server and select Execute. And what's going to happen is this automation artifact is now started execution. It's going to basically run in the same way that it ran before on the Toad client, but the behavior will be slightly different in terms of report output. Okay, if I just refresh this, let's expand this out, you can see it's created now a folder called UKOG Tech16 Demo Results, and in a minute it's going to populate that with some files, and I'll be able to look at those files. Let me hit refresh again. Yep, so if I expand the plus sign out, you can see that I've got a code review report. Okay, and I can view that code review report directly, double click it, and just pull it over here. So here's the code review report with all of my code review metrics showing me what's going on. And similarly, just refresh again. Still running unit tests. Once it's finished running the unit tests for this, so think of this as a build containing all of my code that I want to include, and I need to run all my unit tests and all my code reviews for this particular build, and that's what we're seeing in here. All right, so I've got a couple more now. I've got a code tester text file. So if I examine that, that's going to show me the results of all of my unit tests for this build. And if I had any fails in here, then obviously that's going to not be good. That's not going to be good for a clean build. And then this is just a log file, basically, of what took place. Okay, so it's a log file of everything that happened when I selected the execute. So that's the execute. I can also schedule this. So this will use the Windows Task Scheduler on the Toad Intelligence Central server and execute at some predetermined time. If I want to take that automation artifact and make it callable from an external continuation, if I want to take that automation artifact and make it callable from an external continuous integration process, then I'll use get execution URL. Now what this does here is this generates the URL which will enable the Jenkins or some other CI server to be able to submit an HTTP post method to the server and tell Jenkins where to look on the Toad Intelligence Central server and what to execute. So this URL will be incorporated into the build process on the CI server to make sure that all the PL SQL stuff gets executed as part of that build process. Okay, and that's how the integration currently works. So that's just a quick run through of how to actually execute automations on the Toad Intelligence Central server, and also how to integrate with a continuous integration process. Thanks for listening.